Hey everyone! So this week for our COGS102C project, what we did was we did more interviews. So last week I interviewed 2 engineering friends, and this week I interviewed 2 psychology friends who are also in the education studies department as well. So more so the social sciences versus the engineering side last week. So here are some highlights from that interview.
Big, it's different. Depends on the lecture hall. It's like being in a movie theaters. Pretty much, right? Yeah. It's like you're in this huge auditorium and then there's that one teacher in front and then lecture space. Well, we're pretty much used to that learning where it's like lecture based. Spiral notebook and a pencil.
Same, spiral notebook and a pencil.
No laptops. And I see people on Facebook all the time. I put my purse on the ground in front of my legs. Or sometimes in the seat next to me. Stranger danger.
I put it under my chair because then I hate when people like leave it out in the hallway. So then when people are getting through, like people trip.
Oh, you can put it under your chair?
Yeah, I put it under my chair so people don't like kick it or step on it.
Those typical desks that you had in high school where you just sit with a little bar. Some of them have like giant tables that you pull from the side. It's like the high school desks. The seats in Solis or Peterson, the seats are very hard and it hurts to sit. It depends on the person, because for some people, if the seat's too comfortable, you fall asleep.
I agree, yeah.
I've seen people fall asleep. I've been a victim of falling asleep in class. Everyone's spaced so far. Like there's always at least like 2 seats.
It's uncomfortable to like talk to people if they want like small groups. Sometimes it's like behind you or like in front of you.
So sometimes like
have to turn
I
around.
end up just like sitting there like I don't care. I'll think to myself. I'll talk to myself.
It's not easy to collaborate in the lecture hall.
The giant screen, just having actual PowerPoints on there rather than just straight lectures, because I feel like sometimes I need a guideline to look at, or just I guess having the option of sitting closer, because people pay more attention when they're like up front. So I just walk through the door, walk towards the front of the class. I give myself maybe literally 3 to 4 rows in front of me, so I'm not too close with the professor but not too far, so there's always like a 2 to 3 row gap, and then I just sit right at the aisle, because I tend to get out, like as soon as class is out, I tend to get out right away, pack up quickly and leave, rather than like sitting in the middle waiting for everyone to finish. So I just, as soon as I find a row, I just sit. And then I put my stuff down, and then I pull up the little desk, pull out my notebook and pencil, and wait.
I walk in and then I tend to sit like in the middle of the middle. So I just go in the middle section and then like look for somewhere in the middle, because I don't want to be too close up front where like, cause usually everything's on the screen, so I don't want to like be looking up. Then I don't want to be in the back, because then it's distracting because you see what everybody else is doing. But yeah, then I sit down, then just pull up my desk, take out my stuff, and then stuff my backpack under the chair.
Alright, so the main conclusions that I found from that interview are very similar, or in some ways similar to the ones I found from the engineering interview. That oftentimes seats are not that comfortable, and the seats really do vary from lecture hall to lecture hall depending on how new the lecture hall is. Also, the idea of belongings and how they are oriented in the classroom as well, like where my interviewees usually place their belongings changes depending on the orientation of the desks and how they're structured. And also the idea of communication with peers comes into play, like how well the lecture hall facilitates communication versus in the discussion room where it's more intimate. So there's pros and cons of different things, as you probably saw from the interview itself. Alright, so then later on this week, we also met up as a group during our weekly group meeting, and we decided to start on the infinity diagram. So what we did, we all met together in Cafe Roma, or what used to be Cafe Roma, future Starbucks, here on campus in Price Center. And we had no cards out. We all wrote down little nuggets of information and just like little details that were relevant to improving the classroom dynamics and structure and whatnot. And we wrote we each wrote maybe 10 plus, and we ended up with 100 or so little notes, and we did that all individually first, just like looking through our own personal notes on a Google Drive, writing them down, as many as we thought were relevant, and then eventually we all came together again and we worked on the actual creation of the infinity diagram. So we took a wall, it's one of the walls in Cafe Roma, and we just put up the notes together in groups that we thought were kind of relevant. It was a bit confusing at first. We ended up having some overlap, and sometimes notes fit into multiple groups. So once we had that initial distribution of notes, we went through each category as a team, and we decided to kind of narrow it down and make it more specific what exactly each category was. So we ended up having several themes, including like desk space, personal space, belongings, items. As you see in these clips inserted throughout this video, we worked together as a team to kind of move the notes in a way that seemed most appropriate and made most sense to us as a group. And throughout this process, we found a lot of overlapping notes between the interviewees and between the observation notes. So I think that when we work on this later, when we consolidate this evidence, we will utilize the most important notes or the most common notes and use those as our main hot ideas, I suppose, for the later implementation and design of our project. So that's exciting. We are getting somewhere with our data, which is really awesome. Probably in the next upcoming weeks, we will consolidate even further. We'll be establishing prototypes and whatnot. So that's it for me this week, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.